All right, I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I was out on Kauai this weekend doing a fundraiser for Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Great event over in Kauai at Poipu Golf Course. And what's going on this week? Well, I will tell you what, there would be a lot of news in a normal week. This week, it's not only is it Veterans Day week, in National Military Appreciation Month, but typically we have inflation reports coming out this week for this month, and we're not getting them because the government shut down. And we typically get retail sales reports coming out this week, and we're not getting them because the government shut down. And oh yeah, those guys, those congressmen, those senators are still getting paid while the government is shut down. Now, I will tell you this, there is some news that will come out this week. One of them will likely be the government opening and getting back to work, at least. No, actually, that's not even true because they've been working. Now they're going to get paid. But the government shutdown should end this week, which will be very good for our economy. Our economy has already taken a hit. Estimated hit to the GDP is about 1.5%. But there is some other news that we will see this week. There's a lot of Treasury note auctions. On Monday, we have a Treasury note auction. Tuesday, there's nothing going on. It is Veterans Day, so it's a holiday. We have a 10-year Treasury auction on Wednesday and a 30-year Treasury bond auction on Thursday. So really, those are the big items, but really the overarching item this week will be the government reopening. Another piece of news that is surely we'll talk about as we get into the week is a 50-year mortgage. That's right, President Trump just made a recommendation on a 50-year mortgage. Not legal per Dodd-Frank. We can't do a 50-year mortgage, nor can we do a 40-year mortgage. We might be able to do a non-qualified 50-year mortgage, but I think the cost would end up being the same for buyers because on a non-qualified mortgage, you typically have higher rates. It would be more difficult for buyers to actually gain equity because you're paying interest over a longer period of time. But we'll get into that this week. Let's see where rates are at as we begin on Monday. All right, VA rates, we are just over 6% right now. Again, we ended the week pretty much where we started it at 6.04 is where we start the week. And where are we at with conventional rates? Conventional rates, really 6.3 to 6.4. So we've lost some ground over the last couple weeks. With interest rates, I do think when the government opens, we will see interest rates come down a little bit. But there is a lot of it depends too on what the stock market does. Once the government opens, there's a lot of volatility to be expected this week. We do need the government to get back to work though. And our military, our TSA, and so many more other people to get paid because, hey, they deserve it and we need it for our economy to hum like the well-oiled machine we know it is. All right, that's all I have for you this week. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Aloha.